Health for the Americas, The Human Body is a Disney educational short from 1945. And this has been on my radar for a while, but I never got around to watching it. And very recently, somebody actually uploaded it. And it's in Spanish, I'll talk about that in a moment, but with English subtitles. So I'm so thankful for that. And I've finally been able to watch it. I will, if I remember, link it in the description. And if I forget, please tell me and I will go back and link it. And the reason I point out that this was in Spanish is because, according to Letterboxd at least, it was actually produced by Disney for release in Mexico. So I don't know if there ever was an English version. If anybody can confirm either way, please feel free to let me know. I feel like they would have done an English version and it perhaps just doesn't exist anymore. Maybe not, maybe they just did it in Spanish, but either way, I really thank the person who put the English captions on, and I have to say it's quite delightful. What's interesting about this is that unlike a lot of Disney's health-based educational shorts from around this time, this being 1945, this one's actually still pretty relevant today. A lot of them are not as relevant, but this one is, and it looks at this figure of a typical average person. Maybe not as relevant now because this person is actually a farmer. Obviously, if this were made today, it would probably look more at your average city worker and probably focus on things like posture. That's not what's happening here, but it starts off, I have to say, quite comically with this individual's animals. This is a spoiler, of course, for what happens, but this individual's animals die and his house burns down, but he still has his body. And it's all about the importance of his body and how to look after it as well, which mostly includes obviously eating healthy foods. We have this amazing bit of animation where we see the food going through his body, through his intestines. It's so well animated. And the artist, in theory, interacts with the character and we see him being moved across the screen and different bits and pieces here and there. And I really enjoy that. I like having the artist or the animator or the animator's hand interacting with the animation. I always think that that's really good fun, and it is. It's very, very well animated. The character is, I mean, he's very, very well animated, but he's quite comical to look at as well. There's just something about his facial expression that really amuses me, and his skeleton looks brilliant. There are some great tips on healthy eating, and obviously there's a lot of things they could cover. It is, for the most part, a very brief overview of the importance of the body, how to keep it healthy so that you can continue to do your work even if your animals die and your house burns down. So it definitely is something that I will remember. And as I said, I'm very pleased that we have a version with English captions. I thank that individual very, very much because I've been trying to find this for a while. Every couple of months I would do a Google search, see if I could find it. I could only ever find it in Spanish, and now I realise that that's probably because it was either only or mostly released in Spanish. If there is an English version out there, fantastic. But either way, really thankful to the person who uploaded it. I will, as I said, try and remember to link that in the description. Really glad I finally been able to see this. The animation is brilliant. Some really good tips there. Yes, there is a lot more they could cover. And yes, today I think they'd take a different approach. But it's still brilliant to see. And if you're a fan of Disney, then The Human Body is definitely worth checking out.